Welcome back, guys, to 45 News Utah. Let's do some news, shall we? You want to hear the real news? This is the news that's going to make you feel so warm and fuzzy inside it's going to hurt. Here we go. Buckle up. Catastrophic consequences. U.S. warns Russia over use of nuclear weapons. This is what's going on behind the scenes when everybody's still dancing to the Pied Piper. So Washington says it will respond decisively if Moscow uses nuclear weapons in Ukraine. We heard clearly stated by one of the representatives and by Lavrov, not by Lavrov, but a couple other guys, can't remember who it is. Man, I guess I should have got my notes together. But we heard on the BBC interview with one of the spokesmen for Russia, the Russian Federation, and we heard from the other state minister, I believe it is, I can't remember what his name is right now off the top of my head, that they're going to bomb you. If you're in the UK, Germany, the US, yeah, you're going to get nuked. We're going to get nuked. We're going to get nuked. The BBC interview you can look up too. It's a former Kremlin, actually former Russian Federation, whatever. This guy is a spokesman for the Russian Federation. He went on the BBC News. They said, "A good day to you, sir." And he said, "It's not a good day. It's not a good day for you either, especially you guys." This breakaway republic, the eastern part of Ukraine, is voting out, and they're ethnically Russian. Okay, they've been under a civil war. This has been a civil war. It started in 2013. Who was in charge then? Oh, let me think. Who was the president, vice president then? Oh yeah, it was Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Oh, Biden. Oh yeah, that's right. It was the Biden. So you wonder why I don't know. I mean, Biden all of a sudden shows up and whoa, here we go. Just saying. Coincidences are that we went to a Trump administration. You mega scum, make America great again, scum. Really? That's what you say. Make America great. Biden was in when the government that was elected was overthrown. Biden gets back in, and we're at World War III in Ukraine. He was the vice president. Just like all you sympathizers that love Biden so much during the DAPL protest up in North Dakota, Joe Biden was the vice president. Why Native Americans were being beat in broad daylight. Attack dogs used on them by mercenary companies. Yeah, that was Joe Biden. He was a vice president. And the Kennedy that was backing the native peoples of North America that had all gathered, and including Kiwis that came there. The Kiwis came all the way from New Zealand to do their dance, in the middle of the road to show the police that weren't police, the hired henchmen, that they were ready to be there. But they were beat down by Obama and Biden. They were in charge of that. So let's put blame where blame lies. This guy, he has no idea what he's doing. We're back at war again. Now we're at World War III. The news is that the Biden administration right now is saying U.S. warns of consequences. So just to clear that up about Biden, let's clear it up a little bit for you. Biden is not the knight in shining armor that many believe, and the Democratic Party is so intertwined into corruption. It hurts. It actually hurts. Anybody see that? They own the show. I get tired of telling people that, but hate me if you want, because I'm a make America great again. I want to make the world great again. I guess I'm wrong in that sense, because I want to see the world great again. I want to see success. I want to see everything, people going back to who they were, the values we held in that sense, where we were good people. I remember a time where most of us were good people, through the 90s, the early 2000s, even through the 80s. We were good people. We had morals. We weren't this disgustingness I see now. This selfishness is outrageous. Post-pandemic world is a disaster. It's an entitlement kings and queens of the world running the world everywhere I look. No offense to you guys, because you guys are like me. You're just looking at everybody going, wow. Yeah, wow. You gotta get a little bit of humanity and humility back. The United States has warned of catastrophic consequences if Moscow were to use nuclear weapons in Ukraine after Russia's foreign minister said regions holding widely contested referendum. They threw that in for you. Thanks, Al Jazeera. Thank you. We needed to make sure that we had that in there. What about sham elections? You want to throw that in there too? Sham. Oh wait, I've been driving around going, boy, that stoplight is a sham. Wow. Me having to go to work today is such a sham. Boy, I don't know. I can't get any views on YouTube. Wonder why? Because people want to hear it. Well, that's a sham. Nobody used that word. Newsflash. Sham is a CIA orchestrated mind game word. Oh, they just picked out of their hat. Today we're going to use the referendum that the eastern part of Ukraine is going to vote out and go join Russia. We're going to use sham elections. This word I pulled out of the CIA hat is way more mind control than the other words I've used, like a threat to our democracy. It's a threat to our democracy. Fake news is a threat to our democracy. They just give the guy the news guys a freaking wand and they can wave it like they did on those old. Oh, I can't remember what this show was, but you get my picture. You get what I'm saying. Those were the days, weren't they? Those were the days. Harry Potter, that's what it was. Wave a Harry Potter wand at you. These are the wands that make you do whatever we tell you to do because we're mainstream media. And you are not going to suffer a nuclear war. And you're not going to freeze to death in Europe. And the price of LNG is not going to go through the roof. And all of you knew exactly where Ukraine was, and especially the Donbass region of Ukraine, prior to this year, or the end of last year when this war started. Because you was all so educated on global events prior to this in Ukraine. Let's throw that at you. Yeah. Do your history. It's a disaster. It's a dumpster fire. I'm not going to get nuked over Ukraine, Biden. I'm not going to do it. You're not going to. You've already caused strife and division across the planet. This is the most divided we've ever been. But it was January 6th and Trump. You MAGA scum. Wow. That was great. If anybody says that to me again, I'll be like, okay. You know, it's the third grade's hard. I feel you. I remember the third grade too. You'll get through it. Just keep pushing. Just trust me. Fourth grade will be there, just like that. Summer after the third grade, if you graduate that, I'm telling you. But I'm a MAGA scum because I voted for a president that decided that America was kind of like first in our idea, just like as if you're in India, it's India first, and if you're in China, it's China first, and if you're in the UK, God help you. Or Europe, I don't know what to say, guys. Whoa. You lack the resources, bro. These guys are insane. Just be careful, please. This is nuts. I watch these other preppers on these channels that are in Germany and all that, and it's like, ouch. You're paying how much for what? Whoa. Wait till, oh no, these guys are nuts. Is it time to maybe take back from the kleptocrats your government? Just saying. Vote, people. Vote quickly. Quickly. Okay, let's get on this. United States has warned of catastrophic consequences. Yeah, whatever, you guys. Votes in 4 eastern Ukrainian regions aimed at annexing Russian territory. Territory Russia has taken by force, mostly since its invasion in February. These areas were taken by force, mostly due to the invasion in February. All side of the hand. They're just sham elections. Mostly because of that. That's the disclaimer. So, would you read stuff mainstream media posts and these propagandists write? They're the little. I hit my basement for 2 years. Look what I did. Mostly. Most people just go right over top of it. Be like, mostly by February. Well, this is where we're at. Where was he? They're saying mostly by February. To the best of my knowledge, that's another legal term used by these guys. To the best of my knowledge, if they get in court, it's like, ah, yeah, the best. I did not touch Monica Lewinsky. To the best of my knowledge, it never happened. That's what it. That's what it did. That's what happened," said Bill Clinton. That's how they work. They have a playbook that they use to understand and say what they want to say. Same with all the news broadcasters. Use this to get you guys all to understand what I'm talking about. Time to wake up. I'm woke. You're not woke. It's time to wake up. Hello? Wake up. You're being lied to. You're being scammed. Not shammed, it's scammed. January 6th is not the biggest event that ever happened on planet Earth. So wars of secession happen all the time. They have, even here in America, and they happen when America seceded from what? Great Britain. Wow, they actually never did. They took over financially. So this is not our problem. I'm sorry, if you're in Ukraine, you know what? You got a civil war. The Eastern Donbass, they're ethnic Russians. Mexico's taken over all the southwestern United States, including most of California. A lot of people are not. They're not going to become Americans. America is no longer absorbing immigrants. We're being absorbed by immigrants. This is where the reverse comes out. You know, if they come out tomorrow and say, New Mexico's gone, bro, what can America do? Well, they're Spanish speaking. They claim mainly to be Mexican, out of Mexico. They're not claiming to be Americans because you can be an American and be from Mexico. 45 News, Utah, yeah, somebody looked at that. But the realization is we used to indoctrinate, or we would absorb people from all over the world that would come here and say, you know, I want the freedoms, I want the chance at having a better life. America doesn't have that policy anymore. It's called open borders. But I'm going to tell you, Democrats, one time again, these people that are coming up here, that are flooding through our borders, breaking our laws, they're running roughshod on America. When they become citizens, they're not going to vote for you because they escaped the hell that was in their country to come here for what was basically set forth by the Constitution. Now, the political parties are completely void of this, but these people are going to fight for the Constitution and the Bill of Rights that's granted to every American, not somebody from another country. When you become an American citizen, those are your documents. That's why they want to erase them, because it's yours. It was that Constitution was drafted after the Iroquois Confederacy. That is a Native American document. That comes from our people. That's where they drafted it. They said, we've never seen a freer republic/democracy than the Iroquois. Yeah, it's ours. And now it's yours. Now what are you going to do with it? Those are your freedoms. They're not theirs. Government doesn't give you freedom. Governments are there to protect the freedom. That's why this whole conspiracy is wrong. These human beings that are coming up across that border, God bless them because they're suffering to get here for this American dream. Illegally, by the way. It's against our rules. This is against our we've actually passed immigration laws to make it fair. But they're coming here for freedom. Now, if they embrace that, they don't want gangs and drugs and violence like they had in their former countries. It's going to be a real wake-up call for the Democrats. These are indigenous South American and Central American natives that have been oppressed by governments. There is no inclusion or diversity there. That's why they're here. You got to get that through your head. They want God, and they want family, and they want freedom. And the faster you guys keep taking away our freedoms, the faster those people are going to change. Those human beings are going to change. They may not be Democrats or Republicans. And they will hold the majority. Because they reproduce faster than you do. Than we do. Because they come from a place where they lose children on a daily basis. It's not all the children are going to survive in those countries that they give birth to. This is a sad fact, which is for another story as it is. Who makes these countries this way? You guys know the answer to that, right? There's too many rich people in the world. It isn't because they've hit some jackpot. It's because the other countries are being used, the resources, the humanity, they're being cut or being stolen, stifled, in order for the rich to get richer, extremely rich, at the expense of the rest of the world. That's factual. The rest of the world was allowed to enter the markets, to use their resources without foreign intervention or foreign investment. They would have plenty. But the problem is, they don't have the opportunity to do it because guess why? Just because they're a backwards country and they'll never be able to succeed to anything. Said the rich guy is going down there with his corporation using that country. Oh wait, we got to put some blockades out there. We got to stop some of that. Oh wow, you got to get your, hey Bill, get your company down there and mine all that gold. Yeah, they need that someone mining that precious metals down there, that cobalt in Africa. You guys are in poverty, but we won't be. But we employ so many people. We use the country as a doormat to suck the riches out of it, as usual. Who needs a British Empire? We don't need it anymore. We got corporations. Everything's a corporation. Anyway, back to the same old stuff. I go on for hours. I only got 16 minutes. I got to stop this and post this video. So Russia defies Putin's mobilization push. Hundreds arrested. Well, okay. Hundreds arrested. All the stuff we see on the news about the Russians are just leaving and they're running away. Man, they've almost got everybody buffaloed, don't they? Hundreds arrested, said Al Jazeera. Vietnam's draft dodgers. How many we had back then, huh? Thousands. Thousands ran to Canada. Literally. Hundreds were arrested, and all this stuff we read on the TV and heard on the news and all this. Russians are running together. Mobilization is not going to fight in the war. Get ready. No, they're coming. They're coming. Russia's Lavrov vows full protection of any annexed territory. Yes. That territory is going to become Russia. If Zelensky hits it, the Western world, listen, the Western world can be nuked. It's not a joke. The pandering by the media is lying. They're trying to protect the markets, and Joe Biden has a checkmate on his head. Checkmate. That country, that eastern part of the region, is seceding. It is going to be Russia. If Zelensky keeps attacking per NATO, everybody on planet Earth is a threat. This is in peril. But Russia will do exactly what the United States would do. Exactly. This is what happens when you have a world superpower. Nuclear superpower. But their economy is the same size as Texas. Said the media shills constantly day in and day out about that. They're the size of Texas economy. They took us off the gold standard. Nixon did. And the US dollar is a fiat currency. Hello. It's not real. It's on debt. Who's rich? This is the lie. And everything with this lie hinges on Biden. You got literally Joe Biden is the hinging point to the riches of America. And you guys voted him in. Whoa. Wow. You MAGA scum. But Biden just, what did he just say? What was it? He's shaking hands with people who don't exist anymore. Oh, behind him. He's like, Joe, grab Biden. He's going to save the world and the dollar. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Zelensky's shocked by Israel's failure to send weapons. maybe Israel's figuring out in the next 5 days is going to determine the fate of the human species in the Northern Hemisphere. Maybe. Do you think Zelensky? I did not vote for Zelensky. Zelensky is not the president of the United States. Zelensky is not the president of Europe. He's not the president of Estonia. But yet everybody else is going to be paying the price for this. It stops. Ceasefire. Immediate ceasefire. Now. It's over. Stop it. Before thermonuclear war, I'm so worried about the Green New Deal. Oh, the planet is dying for the past 40, 50 years. I've heard this as a kid. You younger generations that ain't 48 or 49 years old, they've been saying this since we were kids. You're going to die. Climate change. You're going to get real climate change. You're going to get real dyed in the wool, in your face, climate change. It's called thermonuclear war. But yet, everybody's willing to risk it. To risk it. Why don't we have nuclear war? We need to bomb Russia. Zelensky needs more weapons. No, he doesn't. Eastern, Donbass, and the other republics have seceded. They're gone. It's over. Stop it. Biden and Co. and NATO lost. But they did this major push. The intelligence agency was all in charge. And look at us, do what we did. Your weapons you paid for killed innocent civilians. Fact. Your weapons killed Russian soldiers. Fact. We paid for those with our tax dollars. Fact. But that's a good thing to kill those people. Do we not have enough death? Isn't it enough? Is it enough? Is it enough? They say, well, that's Vladimir Putin's fault. The Russian Federation has their own reasons, okay? Which I clearly stated before. If those weapons were in Mexico on the U.S. border, one only has to look what Kennedy did. This is fact, not fiction. John F. Kennedy was going to nuke Russia if they put missiles in Cuba, nuclear missiles. Zelensky he was with NATO. They were trying to become part of NATO, and look what happened. That would mean weapons would possibly be there. Russia did what they did. It's over. They lost a lot of men. So do we in Iraq and Afghanistan. We went into Iraq for weapons of mass destruction that never existed. In incubators in Kuwait where babies were thrown out of incubators and the girl was crying. Remember that? That was fake. That was false. That was a lie. It was all a lie. Everything in the UN and NATO was a lie. They said to get us into Iraq and Kuwait. It was a lie. Lie, 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 lie. A million plus people were killed in those wars. The point is, Eastern Ukraine voted out. It's over. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, they may go back. But nuclear war is not the solution for destroying our economy and stealing all the money. They stole all the money. They broke the financial systems. This is factual. The U.S. dollar is in decline because they stole so much money. But it was for all the Heroes Acts, the Build Back Betters. Look what we did. That money's gone. Do you guys see a paper trail? You follow? Oh, yeah, but they put this much money to here's money. It's been like kids in a candy store. The corporations made more money than they've ever made in the history of everything. The oil companies made more money than they've ever made in the history of everything. Why? Because of commodity shortages. Why is there commodity shortage? Oh, because of COVID. Because of Newsom wouldn't allow truck drivers or independent truckers to go and offload the ships that were bringing in cargo that was all stuck off the coast of California. They had to have a certain something done in order to even be there. Not to mention the people unloading it. There was a problem. It's called commodity traders. They made more money than they've ever made during anything. You on the left have got to step back and say, I'm for the planet, for everything else. You have made them extremely sickening rich. This is factual. There's more billionaires than there ever has been. Globally. This is what's happening. The more commodities is shorted, the more they love it. Because why? Because they're making more money. They're driving politics. You got to wake up. We have 4 days now, or 3 days now, to wake up. This isn't a joke. Those of you young people that don't get this, nuclear weapons are real. You can't use Power Rangers to stop them. There's no magical weapon in Star Wars in the sky. We used that back in the 80s to get Gorbachev to bring down the wall and to destroy Russia, the Soviet Union. We used that already. You've got to wake up. Your party is out of control. It's time to stop this. You can't go Green New Deal. It's 10 years out, if not even more. There's not enough power. There's not enough fuel. This has got to stop. Thermonuclear war is real, and it will end you. Period. Even if you survive it, which you will possibly survive unless you're within X amount of area of the actual blast, or if it's just a limited strike. But you know what happens to all the debt and all the destruction they've done to the US dollar, the euro, and all the money they've stole? It gets wiped off when the war starts. Gone. Poof. You ask me how far they'll go, I'll tell you how far they go. They'll go anywhere for that money. They'll do anything for that money. Just like George Carlin said, they own it. They own this whole thing. It's all a lie. They own you. Wake up. You're not woke. Wake up. Thanks for watching.